Queen has arrived!
Hear ye! Hear ye!
We hear you!
Nobles and peasants alike, I present ye the most gentle and noblest queen, Her Majesty de Winter.
Shouldn't you bow?
Oh, yes.
Down on your knees, let's go.
As Queen of the Royal Muscatine Community College family, I hereby welcome you to the Renaissance Fair on this 7th day of the 9th month of the year 2024. The students and leaders of the Phi Theta Kappa chapter welcome you to this historic event. We thank our vendors for supporting us today. Harper Whitmer, Atlas IC, Christy Nickel Art, Caitlin Rudolph, Haley's Celestial Creations, and Sandy Lampy. I hereby declare this Renaissance Fair open for your full enjoyment.
5 minutes, the first puppeteer show shall begin. Hear ye! Hear ye!
A performance by the Eulenspiegel puppets. Uh-oh, I just remembered. I should turn my phone off, shouldn't I? Ha ha ha. Better to remember before than during, right? It should be louder? Okay, I'll try to turn it up a little. We will see. Better? Okay. Today's show is called, or this morning's show is called Magical Fish and Mermaids. And it has 3 parts. And anybody that wants to come up and sit on the grass, those are the best seats. See, we got 3 people that are sitting on the grass. Oh, here comes somebody else. The show today has 3 parts, 2 different stories, and then in between a surprise. We'll wait for everybody to get seated. All righty. We've got an audience. Mr. Power, are you going to sit down? Come on. Sit down. Watch the show, Mom. The first story is called The Fisherman and His Wife. And it's an old German fairy tale that was written down by the Brothers Grimm. And it tells about what happens when greed and lust for power gets the best of you. Long, long ago, and far, far away, close to the ocean, there lived a fisherman and his wife. They were very poor. They were so poor that excuse me, I'm going to have to start over in a minute. My duct tape that's holding my marionettes up is not cooperating with me. You guys are too heavy. You're breaking my stand. Let's see if they behave any better now. Duct tape has its limits. Okay, rerun. Long, long ago, and far, far away, close to the ocean, there lived a fisherman and his wife. They were very poor. They were so poor that the only kind of house they could afford to live in was this little shack, and it was always, always full of sand from the beach. Sweep, sweep, sweep. All I ever do is sweep sand out of this house. I am so tired of sweeping sand out of this house. Good morning, Ilsabill. Oh, good morning, husband. Looks like you're ready to go fishing. Well, I am indeed. Well, catch me a big one, will you? I'll do my best, Ilsabill. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, dear. Oh, this looks like a likely spot to go fishing. I think I'll sit down. I think I'll just throw out my line, sit down, and relax. Ooh. Already a nibble on my line? That's a record. Ooh, it's more than a nibble. It is a gigantic tug on the line. Oh my goodness. Fisherman, how dare you catch me like any ordinary perch or crappie? Oh, I'm so sorry, Sir Fish. I didn't mean to. Well, please let me go, and please do not catch me again. Oh, of course, of course. Whoa. Did you see that? I caught a talking fish. Wow. I better go home and tell Ilsabill all about it. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ilsabill? Ilsabill? Yes, husband, I'm still sweeping sand. Ilsabill. But you're home early. Did you catch a fish? Oh, I caught a fish all right. Well, where is it? I'm hungry. I let it go. You what? Well, I let it go. It was very upset and offended at being caught like any ordinary perch or crappie, and it made me promise never to catch it again. So, of course, I let it go. Wait a minute. Are you telling me you caught a talking fish? Oh, that's exactly what I caught. You caught a talking fish and you let it go? Yup. What else should I have done? Well, husband, if you caught a talking fish, that was a magic fish. You should have asked it to grant us a wish. Oh, I never thought of that. But, Ilsabill, if we could have a wish, what would we wish for? Oh, I know what I'd wish for. I'm tired of this little shack we live in. I'd wish for a nice cottage with colored curtains and flowers. Well, I'll tell you what, Ilsabill. I'll just go back and see if I can find that fish again and tell him that we want a little cottage with colored curtains and flowers. Oh, husband, you have the best ideas. Bye-bye, dear. Bye-bye. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Well, I think this is the spot where I caught that fish. What do you think? Is this the right place? Well, I'll take a chance on it. Uh-oh, I just thought of something. I promised I wouldn't catch him again, didn't I? I better figure a different way to get his attention. I know. I've always been something of a poet. I'll try a little rhyme. Here goes. Oh, flounder, flounder in the sea, come, I pray thee, here to me, for thou art a talking fish, and I beg thou grant my wish. Fisherman, what is it you wish? Well, my wife and I, We live in this crummy little shack, and we would really like a nice little cottage with colored curtains and flowers, if you could be troubled to grant us that. That sounds like a reasonable wish, fisherman. I will grant it. But please do not disturb me again. Well, why would I? I have everything I ever wanted. Very well, fisherman. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is exciting. I better hurry home and see what we've got. Would you like to see what they got? Here, let's see if we can do it. Little magic. Whoosh. Whoosh. And there we go. A nice little cottage. Isn't it pretty? Oh, look, isn't it lovely? Oh, wife, look at our cottage. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, husband, look. Look at the curtains and the flowers. Just what we asked for. That's right, it's gorgeous. Oh, would you like to see the inside? Of course I would. Look, we have a microwave and a flat screen TV. Can you believe it? Oh, this is the lap of luxury. Well, they lived together happily, but not for long. One day, husband. Yes, Ilsabill? Husband, don't you think this cottage is a little too small for the two of us? Well, come to think of it, it would really be nice to have another bathroom with all the time you spend in there, Ilsabill. Oh, phooey. Why should we stop at something little like another bathroom? I was thinking we should ask for a castle. A castle? Whatever for? Well, wouldn't you like to be the king? Oh, I would hate being the king. But you, my love, you would make a wonderful king. Oh, husband, you say the nicest things. Would you? Would you? Could you? I'll give it a try, Ilsabill. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Well, here goes nothing. Wish me luck. Oh, flounder, flounder in the sea. Come, I pray thee, here to me, for thou art a magic fish, and I request thou grant my wish. Fisherman! What is it you wish? I thought I told you not to disturb me again. Oh, I know, Sir Fish, and I promise this is the last time. It's just that my wife and I, we would like to have a castle. A castle? Whatever for? Well, my wife would like to be the king, and I think she would make a remarkable king. Very well, fisherman, it makes no difference to me who the king of the land is. Now go. But I beg you, please, please do not disturb me again. Yes, Sir Fish. Oh, whoa, this is exciting. I wonder what our new digs look like. Would you like to see what his new place looks like? Well, let's see if we can make some magic and find it. Whoosh. Whoa, wait till you see this. Whoosh. Whoosh. What do you think? Pretty fancy, huh? Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Don't I look beautiful? In my gown? In my robe? Oh, I'm going to go inside and look in the mirror to make sure. Ilsabill? Whoa, Ilsabill! Ilsabill, where are you? Are you here?
Here I am, husband.
But you must call me your majesty now. Oh, very well, your majesty. This is gorgeous.
Isn't it beautiful?
Well, look at the stained glass windows. Whoa, they're gorgeous.
Oh, and husband, wait till you see the inside.
Oh, this is nice. Look at my red velvet throne. Oh, and there's gold. Gold in the corners. Oh, this is amazing. Well, they lived together happily, but not for long. One morning, husband. Yes, Ilsabill. Husband, being king is fine, but I would like to rule hearts as well as minds. Oh, does that mean you'd like to be the bishop? Bishop Schmishop! I want to go for broke and be the Pope. Ilsabill, the Pope? That's right, I could do it. Oh, I'm sure you could. I suppose you'd like me to go ask the fish. Oh, would you, darling? Of course, dear. You say the nicest things. Oh, boy. Now my wife wants to be the Pope. How's that going to work out? Oh, stop everything. There might be people in the audience that don't know who the Pope is. I just want you to know that when this story was written down, the Pope seemed like the most powerful person in the world because the Pope was the head of the Catholic Church. And back in those days, everywhere in Europe where this story took place, everybody was Catholic. The kings and queens were Catholic. The princes and princesses were Catholic. The moms and dads and grandparents and aunts and uncles were all Catholic. And the Pope told them all what to do. So that was a big ask on Ilsabill's part, wasn't it? Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Well, here I am. What do you think? Is it going to work? I don't know, but I'll give it a try. Oh, flounder, flounder in the sea, come, I pray thee, here to me, for thou art a magic fish, and I demand thou grant my wish. Fisherman, what is this demand? Well, something simple for you, fish. It's just that my wife would like to be the Pope. Oh, fisherman, it makes no difference to me who the Pope of the land is. Go home, you have your wish, but I am warning you. Do not, I repeat, not ever disturb me again. Of course, Sir Fish. Whoa. Now she's the Pope. I wonder where we're living now. I bet you'd like to know where they're living now, wouldn't you? Okay, let's see if we can make some magic here. Whoa, pretty fancy. Whoa, pretty fancy. Ilsabill, where are you?
Right here, husband, and you're supposed to kiss my ring.
Kiss your ring?
Go ahead, husband. What do you think?
Well, it certainly is beautiful and impressive.
Would you like to see the inside?
Oh, yeah.
Wait till you see how beautiful it looks
When the sun shines in through our new stained glass windows. Well, they lived together happily, but not for long. One morning they were trying to sleep late when the sun came up, shone in through those stained glass windows, and woke them up. And Ilsabill was not well pleased. Husband, would you turn off the light, please? Ilsabill, that's not a light. That's the sun. Well, husband, turn off the sun then, would you? Ilsabill, I can't turn off the sun. Oh, for pity's sake, do I have to do everything? Sun, set. Sun, set, I said. Son, you're not listening to me. I said set. Husband. Yes, Ilsabill? I can't tell the sun to set. I warned you, Ilsabill. Oh, husband, wouldn't it be nice if we could tell the sun when to rise and set? Oh, that would be remarkable. Hey, should I go over and ask that fish if he'll let us do that? I think that's an excellent idea. Oh, husband, you have the best ideas. Oh, boy. Here we go again. Well, let's see. Wish me luck, everybody. Oh, flounder, flounder in the sea, come, I pray thee, here to me, for thou art a magic fish, and I insist thou grant my wish. Fisherman! Didn't I tell you not to disturb me again? Well, yeah, you did, but you let me do it before. Well, that was a big mistake, I can see that. What do you want this time? Well, my wife and I would like to rule the universe. Oh, I suppose you want to tell the sun when to rise and set? That was the general idea. Maybe you'd like to tell the moon and stars when to come out? Ooh, that would be better yet. Why, you'd be whipping up hurricanes and tidal waves in my ocean. This is where I put my fin down. No, fisherman, this is it. You return home, you will have what you deserve. Whoa, that fish was kind of mad. I wonder what he thinks I deserve. I guess I better go home and find out. Oh, I'm awful tired, though. Oh, this has been really exhausting for me. Maybe I'll take just a little nap before I go home. Would you like to see where he lives now? You can see that the fish already did away with the cathedral that he lived in, didn't you? Can't you? Let's see what's there instead. What do you think it's going to be? Do you have an idea? Can anybody guess what it's going to be? We'll see.
The same house.
It's the same old house he lived in before. Oh, boy. Sweep, sweep, sweep. I guess I better go get my broom. There's sand in the house again. Oh, that was a nice sleep. Well, let's see. Ilsabill? Ilsabill, are you here? I am, husband. I was just going to go get the broom and sweep the sand out of the house. Oh. Oh. It looks like you caught a fish. Oh, I did. I caught a beautiful fish. Well, I have an idea. Let's go in the house and cook it for dinner. Oh, yes. Let's bread it with cornmeal first. Oh, husband, you have the best ideas. And that, my friends, is the tale of my father. Yo-ho, she's below, and there ain't no man who's man enough to go. And the waifs sing a tune as they holler at the moon, and the mermaid laughs at the sailor's doom. Yo-ho, my pretty little mermaid down below. My father was the keeper of the Eddystone Light. He married a mermaid one fine night. Now of this union there came three, a porpoise, a porgy, and the other was me. Yo-ho-ho, and the wind blows free. Oh, for life on the rolling sea. One day as I was a-walking on the beach, having a bite of a juicy peach, a voice from the water shouted, "Ahoy!" And there was me mother a-sitting on a buoy. Yo ho ho, and the wind blows free. Go for life on the rolling sea. Tell me what has become of my children three. My mother then she asked of me. One was exhibited as a talking fish. The other was served in a chafing dish. Yo ho ho, and the wind blows free. Oh, for life on the rolling sea. Well, the phosphorus flashed in her seaweed hair. I looked again. Me mother wasn't there. A voice come echoing out of the blue. Phooey on the keeper of the Eddystone light. Yo ho ho, and the wind blows free. Oh, for life on the rolling sea. Yo ho, she's below, and there ain't no man who's man enough to go. And the waves sing a tune as they thunder at the moon, and the mermaid laughs at the sailor's doom. Yo ho, my pretty little mermaid, down below.
Now we have for you here today at this, is it the Muscatine Community College?
Yes.
I wish to get the name right at least the first time. I'll get hit in the head, and so after that, all bets are off. At the Muscatine Community College, this is our first show of the day. We will have another show at, is it 12:30? 12:30. And so, immediately after this fight, several of our men will be getting into heavier armor than what they're already in here. And so please come back at 12:30 as well. Our fighters here today for this show will be demonstrating what we like to call our history show. That is to say, they will be fighting with historical techniques as they developed throughout time. And because of that, I have to go all the way back in history. So this requires a little bit of audience participation. Who here can tell me the most ancient, the most ubiquitous form of edged weaponry? Yes, Chester.
I was thinking cavemen, but that would not be right, would
So
it?
a caveman could have this type of tool if it was made of bone. What could it be?
No. A spear?
So a spear made of a point, could be even earlier at a stick, but I heard knife, and knife is correct. Because whether it is made out of bone, out of stone, or out of metal, this in many societies would indicate your status as a free person. Because if you had such a weapon on your person, You could not be threatened. You could not be menaced without risk to the other person at the very least. And so, we have two fighters here for you today. Our giant in the colorful poofy pants and shirt, our Landsknecht Dietrich. Give him a hand. Versus our slightly more plainly dressed French Crusader Knight, Sir Daniel. Give him a hand. They will be fighting with daggers to a best of 3 in what we like to call a definitive blow. That is to say, if they strike at the extremities from the cuff to the shoulder, that would normally, with a sharp weapon, incapacitate that arm. Similarly, from the leg or the boot to the groin, a cut there means that you may not be able to stand. Or you would cut at one of the major arteries, meaning that they would bleed out in only a few seconds. Stabs and cuts to the abdomen would disembowel. And cuts and thrusts to the head, even if not immediately fatal, would cause blood in the eyes or other loss of vision, concussion, and the fight would generally be over. We will have them fight till that point to a best of 3. Fighters, are you ready? You may begin. So as they approach, these are very short-ranged weapons. See how close they need to get before their hands are engaged, using that offhand grab. Catching and bracing Sir Daniel's hand above his head, Dietrich then made an opening to get his knife into the gut, earning him a first solid point. Fighters, are you ready? You may begin. So as they continue, they will be approaching just at that critical distance. The only thing they get to use with these knives, basically, is their arm reach. And so, Dietrich, being a little taller, has a small natural advantage. Sir Daniel has experience, however. And with that, both of them trying to grab at the arm, having the other arm being stabbed underneath by the points of those knives, would incapacitate and mortally wound perhaps both fighters. And so they would be rolling around on the ground with one floppy arm, trying to stab each other, and they would both probably be dead. And so I award no points for that exchange, but Dietrich is still up 1 point. Fighters, are you ready? You may begin. So as they approach, notice that Sir Daniel is keeping his weapon out of the way, both of them keeping their weapon very low, ready to do what they can in a fight. I am backing away. And as they rotate, they're trying to see if they can get to a superior position where maybe more of that arm is exposed, ready to get cut. That hand being, something between a cut and a punch, rotating Dietrich's helmet. Definitely out of time for a counterattack. I give Sir Daniel a matching point.
The Frenchman is winning. I don't know how to feel about it.
Fighters, you are tied. Audience, do you want to see them finish this? You may begin. So as they approach, once again, every minute that they have to spend in this ring, the adrenaline going through them, Sir Daniel in that gambeson.
Boy, Daniel.
Backing away just only the minimum amount needed so that knife whizzes past his face and helmet, gives him the opportunity to strike back at Dietrich's head, earning Sir Daniel the 2nd point and victory! Now, I will give the spear people credit here. Knife fights often end in a lot of mutual death, and so it would be really nice if you could take that knife and put it on the end of a stick and stab that guy over there. And so Sir Daniel remains on the field, trading out his knife for a spear versus our Scotsman on the opposite side, Jack. Let's give him a hand. Both of these will be fighting with boar spears, with those winglets designed to go in between the rib cages of the boar to stop them from charging. They're also able to be used for grapple play at distance. We shall see which of them emerges victorious. Fighters, are you ready? You may begin. So those spears are primarily thrusting, but if a solid enough hit comes down onto the shoulder or into the leg, they are capable of cutting all the same. Those winglets will be tried to get Oh, not quite a strike. Trying to get past the shoulder. You can see Jack using the head to try and drive aside. Daniel point. Oh, not quite. Trying to jump out of the way. Jack wearing an improvised padded skirt to protect his loins with that kilt. Trying to go under. Oh, there we go. You can see them trying to go high and then low and then high and then low. Jack almost successful at doing so, but Sir Daniel driving just a little bit farther than Jack can lean out of the way gives him a point. Fighters, are you ready? You may begin. So as they approach, notice that they are standing a bit differently than with the dagger. They have to have their profile a little bit narrower, that offhand only used to hold the spear. They don't want to expose too much of their chest. They don't want to keep... Oh! You got a mutual blow. So with that, at about the same time as Sir Daniel went in for another thrust at the gut, Jack saw the opportunity to try and go up and above into the shoulder. They would have both struck each other before being able to retreat, and so no points are awarded because, frankly, you're both dead. Fighters, are you ready? You may begin.
Stab him.
So with the spear, there is a lot of play that you can do with both hands. You can do as Sir Daniel is doing, trying to go in and out very quickly. Jack is trying to deflect to the side. They're both trying to, oh, not quite, apparently. Trying to catch onto that tabard, not a stab, even if it feels like it sometimes. Oop, almost to the hand. You can see them using them almost like pool cues at times. Trying to get in with a solid strike. Grappling at the tip, slapping it down. Jack could have maybe used that to go in, but he decided not to. Every minute they spend out here is tiring them out. Oh, there we go. An excellent maneuver, deflecting the head of the spear down before stabbing rightly at the shoulder. Jack earns himself a matching point. Now you are tied, gentlemen. Are you ready to finish this? You may begin. So Jack getting just into range, having his spear a little bit more forward. Sir Daniel using his hands, widening his grip, gaining more control, trying to, almost trying to get, into the ground a little bit, able to recover, deflecting, trying to get around, grabbing.
That's a bit much for this show.
That's Sir Daniel's dagger. Okay, good. Jack remembering the first rule of sword fighting, which is always bring a knife. Losing control of his weapon, trying to gain control of both spears since he was so close, decided to go in for the grapple. Daniel trying to join him, but Jack grabbing his knife and stabbing the other man earns him that second point and victory! As history continues and metallurgy properly developed, you're able to see that shape of a knife extended out to be longer, able to cut with great force. Then we get the shape that we now call a sword. Our German knight Mikhail in his chainmail, though we shall not count it for this show, will use his sword against our other German Landsknecht, Wolfgang, with an arming sword of his own. Let's give a hand for these fighters! Fighters, are you ready? You may begin. So even though Mikhail is wearing some heavier armor here, we do not count it for the purposes of our demonstration. He does this to train. He does this to increase his stamina because that chainmail is about 40 pounds, if I remember correctly. And so, as he fights, every movement is taking energy out of him. You can see as well that that offhand is not quite as useful when these swords are this long. There we go!
'Tis but a flesh wound.
However, in about, we shall count it, as that strike would penetrate deep into the chest, perhaps break a rib, or stab at a lung. And so, Wolfgang, deftly batting aside the sword before doing that cut, gives him a solid point. Fighters, are you ready? You may begin. So with Wolfgang conserving his energy, he does have lighter armor, and so movement does not tire him out nearly as much. As well, that great helm does limit Mikhail's visibility, but he has trained in it for long enough that it is generally for him not too much of a disadvantage. However, if he gets distracted by a sword leaving his vision like that, he may guard inappropriately or improperly and get slashed in the gut, giving Wolfgang a second point and victory! Now, clearly, having nothing in the other hand is a defensive liability. Getting your arm cut off, having it be a brace into your chest, not very effective. And so on the battlefield, arming swords, one-handed swords, would often be paired with defensive implements in the other hand. Wolfgang takes back to the field wielding a center boss shield that covers a large portion of his body. Mikhail returns to the field with is that a very small heater shield? Strapped to his arm for better stability. We shall see which of these two fighters emerges victorious. Fighters, are you ready? You may begin. So Wolfgang's shield may be larger, but it is only resting on his wrist. And so he has to hold it away from his body, supported fully by that wrist. And as well, as you can see, he has to move it a good portion if it's not in the correct spot. Mikhail just has to brace that arm against his body, and he has a very solid layer. So with that, charging in, using the shield to bully his opponent. Was that a mutual?
Yeah, I would say yes.
I would agree. Pulling his shield in and trying to slash below, Wolfgang was able to strike, but not before the sword was in motion from Mikhail into Wolfgang's throat. And so both of these fighters, incapacitated, will get no point. Fighters, are you ready?
Yep.
You may begin. Now, with that large shield, you can see that Wolfgang can protect himself and give himself a nice hack. However, that does not matter if Mikhail charges forward. Did he get you?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get him back?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, another mutual blow. Both of these fighters evenly matched. On a third mutual blow, I will have to dismiss them from the field for time just because I don't want them to tire themselves out. They have another show today. Fighters! Are you ready? You may begin.
You're done.
So again, as they continue, they've both been fighting each other for over a minute or so in this field.
Good blow.
Trying to use that shield, putting his sword up against it and sweeping low. Mikhail actually getting past the poopy pants and getting a point. Oh, he got a point on you. I'm sorry, when the shield gets low like that, you're all just kind of like, hey, buddy.
Poopy pants.
Wolfgang, my apologies, gains himself the first point.
Good try.
Fighters, are you ready?
Yeah.
You may begin.
Kick in there.
Keeping that shield forward for Wolfgang, but is what he wants to do. Trying to feint with that sword using the limited visibility. And with that, both of those swords entering that clash at about the same time. You may have had your arm struck just a small bit before Wolfgang, but that was positioned very well for a draw cut. And so, with a third mutual blow, Wolfgang having 1 point from previously, I shall award him the technical victory! At the height of the medieval period, you can take this sword with more advanced metallurgy, make it even longer, even lighter, capable of being wielded very deftly in both hands. That is when we take the shape of the arming sword and it translates into a two-handed long sword. wielded by our lead instructor, Sir Cedric, the English Knight in the green,
Bavaria.
versus our German Lance Connect, Dietrich, on this side in many different colors.
Four colors. Oh no. So they pissed off the
Fighters, are you ready?
Right.
You may begin. So as they
I'm
fight
really
with
into
this,
this, yeah.
this is used in both hands. Oh! Did he get you on the arm at all before that?
So silly.
Just at the wrist.
Just at the wrist.
Okay. So with that, Dietrich may have gotten a strike to a finger or two, not a super definitive blow. However, in doing so, was able to push the sword of Cedric out of the way and cleave directly into his head, earning Dietrich the first point. Fighters, are you ready?
Right.
You may begin.
Cedric.
Notice that their guard positions change. They're trying to strike at the hand because that's the most exposed point. But they need to get trying to see if Cedric can hold his ground. There's a lot of exchange there. I applaud both of you. Neither of them wanting to give up that.
That's a lot of bruises.
Absolutely certain. Dietrich, trying to get those hands of Cedric's up and around, was able to block. And before Cedric was able to come down and across, Dietrich looped his arms around and cut straight underneath, earning him the second point and victory!
I love that.
Past this point in history,
Death loves you too.
the advent of gunpowder
She'll
on
meet up with you later.
Now that is
knights in their heavy armor are not as effective. They can be blown away
My best.
after years of training
Always meet up.
by a peasant with an arquebus and, a couple days at the range. And so, swords became lighter, they became more nimble, and once again wielded in one hand, often for self-defense and for duels of honor. I, Mercutio, shall enter the field versus our Scotsman Jack, and we shall both wield weapons of the Renaissance, the rapier, at each other.
There we go.
Mercutio! Get him!
It's true. Clap for Mercutio. Do it.
Mercutio.
Clap for my friend!
Mercutio die first. You don't.
Yeah, but he's the funniest, so.
Yes.
As I cannot talk and fight at the same time.
We believe in you.
Okay,
We
well,
got a camera this game to try it out with.
true. Don't tempt me. Wolfgang, could I please have you adjudicate the fight?
Yeah.
Jawohl!
On Mercutio. Don't die this time.
Change the storytelling.
We believe in you, Mercutio.
You
Fighters, are you ready? Lay on! They see very different approaches in swordplay here, though they're both using rapiers, using different style of rapier and different style of rapier technique. So Also, notice Jack is left-handed.
Spanish style technique.
Mercutio, some of his techniques might not work as appropriately against Jack, but he is skilled. We'll see how he does.
Kind of. So
Jack
was the last
knocking Mercutio's blade away, selecting at his leg. Mercutio coming over and thrusting at Jack's back. No points for a mutual blow, gentlemen. Fighters, are you ready? Lay on!
I like the throw. I like the
Mercutio trying to keep that point in Jack's face. Jack circling, trying to find an opening.
I was gonna say his name should be
Both fighters with equal length reach, thrusting into each other about the same
just
point.
use a French accent.
Mercutio.
Monsieur.
Two mutual blows. Fighters
So funny.
kill each other before we get into a round.
Well, I guess
Are you ready?
English or French?
Lay on!
I have to remind
Jack,
you,
very quickly.
to a public bowl.
Lunge.
The Doomsday Book. That is when France.
Keeping his blade
beat
low and
England.
thrusting underneath Mercutio's. Mercutio attempting to parry it, but not succeeding. Taking the strike, not awarding Jack a first point. Butters, are you ready?
I'm in the forest too.
Lay on.
often. He's not in the castle. Oh, that is
Uh-oh.
You teach me how to read.
Jack attempting to grab the blade. This would be legal, as you know, if it's raw, it won't cut. However, not after Mercutio thrusted him. Thus, I will award Mercutio the point for the solid thrust, thus making you tied, gentlemen.
All right.
We're both matched on mutual or point shall end this match. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, would you like to see them finish this? Fighters, lay on!
Kill the master.
Oh. Get him.
Jack attempts to carry and thrust.
Oh, I got his head.
And another mutual blow as Jack comes underneath and tries to get Mercutio's hip. Mercutio striking at Jack's head. Both fighters are evenly matched. Don't worry, folks. They'll probably fight again this afternoon. You get to see them kill each other then. Let's do it, I am.
Past the Renaissance, you then enter what we call the early modern era. Firearms are the main component of battlefield weaponry. However, fighters from many different civilizations without ammo or without supplies often relied on swords to finish the job or to fight in mutual combat. And so, we have Dietrich returning to the field. Is there a loop on there?
Slow clapping around.
That will work for now. I apologize.
You got sad.
Wielding in his hand a sword with a basketed hilt, often seen by the Englishmen, known as a mortuary blade,
That's fun.
versus our Scotsman Jack, keeping to the field, wielding a basket-hilted blade from Scotland.
For Scotland.
Fighters, are you ready? You may begin. Now, while this is very similar to an arming sword, the weight and dynamics are different. That guard around the hand means you can be very aggressive with that forward wrist. Oh! I saw a blow after blow.
Yep.
And so, while Dietrich's blade was in the air, it was going to come down, but not before Jack would have toppled him at least slightly with an ankle cut trying to retreat. And so, for timing, I shall give the first point to Jack. Fighters, are you ready? You may begin. So as they continue, notice they keep those blades a little bit more forward. Dietrich using it to guard his legs. Trying to get with a cut, deflection in. Ooh. Pushing Jack into the corner. Putting his arm with that blade behind his head. Jack's unable to counterattack as Dietrich pushes through and gets a cut on the side, earning him a matching point.
You can look at it, but don't touch.
So with those basket-hilted blades, they are capable of both cutting and thrusting, trying to get in with those defensive guards. A lot of wild swings. I can't see what happened there. Did you catch it with your arm, Jack? And so, once again, getting bullied back into the corner, Dietrich with wild swings, able to catch a limb in there, earns a second point and victory! Even on the modern battlefield, swords were often carried by officers, especially ones that are easy to train with. And thus, the sword that we have seen all the way up until its fielding in World War II is the military-style saber. I think technically ours are Polish, aren't they?
Polish military.
True. There's a lot of militaries. A lot of them use sabers. As such, I, Mercutio, shall enter the field once more versus our English knight, Sir Cedric. Let's give them a hand. Once again, we'll
Mercutio.
for adjudicating this match.
Come on, Mercutio. Yes, me. Yes. Win a battle.
Fighters, you ready? Lay on! Very fast weapons. Lots of cuts. You might see a thrust, but not too often. Both fighters very long arms, very skilled. Trying against each other. However, Sir Cedric coming around on Mercutio's outer arm and slashing across, taking his elbow, thus making him unable to hold his sword and taking a first point for Cedric.
Huzzah!
Thank you, sir.
Fighters, are you ready? Lay on! Now, folks, this is our last fight. Ooh!
I saw the arm. Green.
But it did look a little bit in time for me. We'll call it a mutual point, and thus award no points. It's our last fight for this show. Do come back at 12:30. We'll have an entirely different show where Sir Cedric and Sir Mikiel will both be in heavy armor. You don't want to miss that. But for now, fighters, are you ready?
Ready.
Audience, let's give it up for these men. Lay on!
3 p.m. Oh!
Now, that was solidly out of time, and thus Mercutio taking the first point before Sir Cedric could retaliate puts him tied.
Yeah!
Back in the game.
Yes.
Fighters, are you ready?
Ready.
Lay on!
Come on, dude, you can do it.
One more point ends this match. Who will be your victor? Cedric making sure Mercutio and those quick flashing strikes. Mercutio waiting for the perfect opportunity and moving and strike himself. Like I said, Dirty Granny, you need to be a thrust, but you can make one. Sir Cedric very temptly is having into Mercutio's helmet. I don't know if you all saw it from your angle, but Mercutio has a cover on that helmet, and it got in through the side.
Oh. You okay?
Fortunately, they do wrap around underneath there, so he is safe, though I'm sure his head might bring a little bit.
That's good.
Sir Cedric taking 2 points in victory!
With that, we are the band of Iron Lions. Let's give one more round of applause to these fighters. We are a non-profit organization that is veteran-owned.
Say you're from the future. I don't even know what the bleeding future is. Well, you have a good day. I'm scared of you and your weird black box thing.